Hello and welcome to episode 1 of our Local Legends series, brought to you by Hank's Guitar Shop. I'm here today with Kirk Yates, and he's going to be doing a little bit of his fusion playing. He's got his own band, Mutant Fusion Collective, and he's going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about it right now.
Hey, thanks for having me here. Appreciate it. I know you guys did some work on this guitar I got here, the nut and these roller, what are they called, string trees?
Yeah, string trees, yep. Those are on the USA Strats and Tellys nowadays.
But yeah, so, I don't know. What do you want me to talk about? The Mutant Fusion Collective, we play around. We do a lot of original music, which I write, and we also do some covers of different, everything from classic rock, Led Zeppelin, to Herbie Hancock, other jazz stuff. A lot of 90s stuff. We'll do some Nirvana songs from time to time. All kind of stuff. We like to keep people guessing and kind of try to, do something different every time.
So, Tampa Bay's got a pretty big, big music scene, pretty rich music history here. There's a lot of punk and metal, lots of Jimmy Buffett, and there is some other jazz going on, down in Tampa. How do you kind of set yourself apart from all the other, sort of rock bands and the other bands that are out there, man?
I guess whenever we do covers of stuff, we try to do our own sort of thing with them, and we don't really try to call ourselves a cover band, even though we do, it's probably mostly covers. It's more covers than originals at this point. Will that balance change as we learn and come up with more originals? Maybe, but I think it's just a sound thing that's different. Most of our stuff is instrumental, but we're also not a straight ahead jazz band. And there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of incredibly talented jazz musicians in this area.
What kind of questions do venues ask when they're considering hiring you?
Well, honestly, I guess it's something that I luckily haven't had to run into too much, because we kind of formed at the Dunedin Brewery. They have a jam there on Wednesdays, and that's where I met a lot of the guys, and some of them, including the bass player, are friends with some of the people that booked that place, so we kind of did have a bit of an in there. But then some other places like the Blueberry Patch in Gulfport we played, and I don't know, I think that they just want to make sure you have a little bit of a following and, are competent enough to fill the time slot with music and hold the people's attention. And, our drummer, Michael Lepic, is the guy that does most of the emailing and stuff with booking and stuff. That's just not something that I've done with this group. Maybe I should do it more. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'm better at it than him, but we don't know yet.
So I know you play in Tampa, St. Pete. You play around a little bit. For people that are kind of new to the scene, here in Florida, especially in the Bay Area, what are some differences, in the different areas that you might run into? Could you kind of explain, if you were brand new to the scene, what are some things you might run into gigging around here?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question. Like as far as just, I mean, each, different places have their different crowds, so different people are going to frequent different places and expect different things with the music, at any given place. I think at the Dunedin Brewery, there's definitely a big jam band kind of contingency of people who have kind of ears that are ready to hear more different stuff. We've played at Grand Central Brewing in St. Pete, and that went over well, but it was definitely a little different crowd of people. But it's just kind of places have different street traffic that comes by. So I don't know. I don't really think about that much, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know. I just know for me personally, like, if you go to St. Pete, the scene is a little different. Like you mentioned the Blueberry Fest, right? That scene is completely different than, say, like the brewery, in my opinion, at least. So, I was just more so wondering if you had any kind of differences.
That place is definitely a unique, special place where there's a lot of, like, I almost think that no matter who plays there, there's people who are just going to show up for just every show.
It's an interesting crowd, man, yeah.
Because they're just dedicated to that place.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you guys on stage?
You got a train wreck story?
Well, I mean, one funny thing there was a time when my drummer has like his little Tama bop kit sometimes that he plays, like just like a tiny little light baby blue drum set. And that, he can hit hard, and there's been times where that has just collapsed, like the kick drum, whatever little stands, that thing fell apart, so the drum set basically collapsed on itself, and that was right at the end of a set, so we kind of were able to finish it, and then he could do surgery on the drum set after that. But
you didn't work it into the act? Have to do it every time after that?
Yeah, like more in like more extreme ways, like that'd be good. I don't know.
So I know you're kind of like a hobbyist guitar builder as well. I know you've been kind of working on some of your own guitars. This one included here. You want to tell us a bit about that one that you got with you?
Sure. This is the most recently completed guitar build project thing that I put together. It's got a Warmoth body and neck. The body was painted by a place in Orlando called Star Guitars that does nitro finishes and stuff. These are Sir Thornbucker pickups, and then a Sir like VSL60, whatever the hell it's called, like a 60s style single coil in the middle. It has this cool switch, which is a freeway switch. So there's 10 different sounds on it, including humbucker neck, split bridge, one single coil from this, middle,
versatile, man.
Mixed up. Yeah, it does all different stuff. Two outer coils together here. It's fun, Is it overkill? Maybe.
Let's hear a little bit.
But more is more, like Yngwie Malmsteen has said. So it's just the neck. That's the bridge with the humbucker. Go to the neck here. I do particularly like the way that these humbuckers split, because there's not much of a usually there's like a big
volume drop,
decrease
yeah,
when you do
yeah.
that, but these ones split pretty nicely.
Nice. So, Kirk's actually been a regular here for a little bit. Kirk, what's a good setup mean to you, man? You know, how important is a good setup in terms of being a gigging musician? You know, good tune up on your instrument there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a little OCD about some of that stuff, like, you know, just having messed with, you know, setting up stuff myself, and, you know, sometimes I can do it all right, and sometimes I need to get some assistance from a pro, you know. But just, you know, having the action where you kind of need it to be to play comfortably but not buzz, and, you know, so some things are a balancing act, you know, and every guitar is different.
What we actually did to this one here, the nut slots, we had to cut with the proper back angle. If you don't do that, if you just cut them straight ahead with the files, you're gonna miss out on you know, the proper intonation that you should have up in that part of the neck, the cowboy chords there. And also, like he was saying at the beginning, those string trees there, that really helps give you that proper break angle up at the headstock. I know you've also switched out the tremolo on this one. You were having some tuning stability issues there for a little bit as well.
I was having some tuning stability issues a little bit. This is now the third bridge that's been on it, but I'm happy with this one. I think it's good. It's a nice vintage style quality bridge from Callahan.
Awesome, man. Well, Kirk, thank you so much for joining us today on our first episode of Local Legends. You know, we hope to have you again sometime.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah, we appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it.
That's all, folks. We appreciate you here at Hank's Guitar Shop. Y'all have a good one.